man, that was a close one after being up by as much as 13 points in the second half. The Indiana Fever find themselves in a dogfight late in Seattle, and we held on to win 5 straight W's for the Indiana Fever, 78-74. Man, that was a struggle.
Sophie Cunningham morphed into Steph Curry with a Southern swagger, while Aaliyah Boston declared the fourth quarter hen domain. The Fever were cooking, serving up wins like Sunday dinner, now 3-0. Is this a dynasty simmering, or did something else ignite their fire? Like I always say, games this explosive rarely tell the full story. This one had more plot twists than a season finale. Stick around because I'm breaking down what really happened.
Well, my God, the Fever did everything possible to blow a game, but still come out with the win. That was a near epic level collapse, folks. Wow, it should have never gotten that close. Lexi Hull, Stephanie White waited till the very, very last minute to put Stephanie Hull in on defense. She should have been in there from 2 minutes in, 2.5 minutes in on defense.
Sophie Cunningham wasn't just playing, she was on a mission, reminding everyone why her highlights are legendary. That rare, I got this energy made opponents second guess everything and forced coaches to redraw their entire game plan mid-stride. Offense was locked, defense tighter than Fort Knox. She dove for every loose ball, hit clutch shots like her mortgage was due, and turned the court into a masterclass on how to own the moment.
We needed big games from a few key players, and we got big games from Sophie Cunningham, a big game from Natasha Howard, and Ari McDonald. It was very noticeable how this team performed tonight with Ari McDonald in the game and with Ari McDonald on the bench. Ari McDonald was a key component to the Fever's victory tonight. Let's get right into it. Natasha Howard, big game from Natasha Howard. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 10 of 12 from the field. Natasha Howard, she put in work offensively, she put in work defense.
It wasn't just the points, it was her undeniable attitude, the raw swagger that no nonsense grabbed the game by the throat intensity. Sophie wasn't just participating, she was performing. She was the absolute glue, the spark, the vital caffeine injection this Fever squad didn't know they needed, but now can't function without forget heart and soul. Cunningham was the team's entire circulatory system. Every time Indiana seemed to falter, boom, there she was, hustling, yelling, ensuring nobody forgot who the true emotional engine was.
But what it is about certain parts of these games, certain halves of these games, it's like they didn't want Sophie Cunningham to touch the ball at all in the second half. And she finished with 17 points, 5 of 6 shooting, 4 of 5 from three-point range. And in case you're wondering, she's the only Indiana Fever player that hit a three-pointer this evening.
Then the fourth quarter hit, and something utterly baffling happened. Something that makes any serious basketball analyst scratch their head. Sophie had the absolute hot hand, draining everything. And what did we see? A 5-minute Cunningham intermission, like a sudden commercial break in a blockbuster movie. Who benches their flamethrower when they're melting faces? Regular viewers know I've been tracking these questionable coaching decisions.
They sure do know how to stress a brother out. The Indiana Fever just almost pushed me to a heart attack. I mean, Jesus. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, guys. My goodness, man. Woo, I got to keep my towel on. My neck is wet. My neck is wet, guys. I'm sorry. They made me sweat. The Indiana Fever nearly blow a 12-point fourth quarter lead. We allow the Seattle Storm to go on an 11-0 run in the fourth quarter. Stephanie White, I keep telling y'all, I don't trust her.
Seriously, pulling Sophie during crunch time was basketball blasphemy. It was like cutting your internet mid-live stream or throwing out the best part of a meal. A decision so perplexing it sounded like a bad improv sketch. This wasn't just any 5-minute timeout. This was primetime fourth quarter chaos, with the team's undeniable leader hydrated on the bench like a bench warmer. Sophie was radiating energy like a solar panel in the Sahara. And suddenly, darkness wasn't about her points anymore. It was about her presence. Cunningham's on-court aura stabilizes, elevates, inspiring teammates to run harder, defend smarter. Taking her out was yanking the plug on their anthem.
All right, man. So can't we just talk about the elephant in the room, man? When we have hot hands, we have to go to the hot hands. Okay, it just does not make sense to keep giving somebody who is cold the ball, especially in clutch moments. What are we doing? Stephanie White, what are we doing? My bad, y'all. I know this probably bothered y'all. What are we doing, Stephanie White? Let me close this out, y'all, really quick. Okay, there we go. You have to refer to your hot hands, man. Come on now. You had Kelsey Mitchell take. I feel like it was like 3 or 4 shots that she took in the clutch moments, where they were coming back, and
despite that baffling move, somehow, through the turnovers and chaos, the Fever endured. Maybe it was Sophie's sheer residual energy still lingering on the court, or perhaps Aaliyah Boston finally woke up in the fourth, taking that benching personally. Boston didn't just show up, she exploded. Rebounds, putbacks, sheer intimidation, footwork like a dance battle. She pulled out that veteran card and slammed it down. She talks, she defends, she encourages, she scrambles. She's the player who makes eye contact in a huddle, and you know no one's folding. What's truly wild is how universally obvious all this was. Fans knew it, commentators knew it. Everyone knew Sophie was still cooking.
Indiana Fever survived the Seattle Storm. This was a hell of a game, and I have to be honest with y'all. I got to be completely honest with y'all. The Indiana Fever, hey, a win's a win. I'm not mad. We won. I'll take a win. But boy, are we lucky that this Seattle Storm team is borderline, they're borderline terrible offensively. This team, they play so slow. They can't score in bunches. I don't even know how they went on an 11-0 run. Well, I know how they went on a run. My point is, they don't score quickly enough, easy enough to even go on major scoring swings like that. That's not how they play. They are a slow, methodical team, and they missed. Skylar Diggins missed 2 wide open threes. Erica Wheeler missed a...
Why bench a player who's hitting every shot, who's the chef in the kitchen, only to close for 5 minutes? Was it a strategic timeout? Load management? Divine intervention? We still don't have answers. Beyond the numbers, Sophie's leadership is raw, unfiltered, no rehearsed slogan. She pumps her fist, yells switches, celebrates teammates like she hit the shot herself. That unity is priceless. For a young, hungry Fever squad, Cunningham is the blueprint, the rally point, their compass. She doesn't just lead, she binds. She's a true role model. Not the polished corporate type, but pure hard-nosed blue-collar basketball served with a side of sass.
Absolutely are like they're now well and truly up there with the best of them. They are looking like they're going to get into that 4-5 matchup no matter what. Like, if you look at the standings, they are 17-12. They're like a half a game back on the Phoenix Mercury. If the Phoenix Mercury somehow lose tonight, they go ahead of the Phoenix Mercury. They are an entire game ahead of the Seattle Storm, and they have the tiebreak over the Storm. If they win one of the last two against Phoenix Mercury, they have the tiebreak over the Mercs.
So yes, Cunningham is that player, underestimated by box scores, over-delivering in ways no metric can quantify. She may not always lead in points, but she leads in everything that defines winning effort, communication, confidence, and chaos control, and yes, a little trash talk with Midwestern charm. By the final buzzer, the Fever weren't just a team, they were a cohesive unit, extending their streak and giving fans something real to cheer about. Behind all that buzz, Soph, on or off the court, she orchestrated the vibe like a conductor possessed. If you're wondering what lit the fuse for their recent success, don't overthink it. It's not just plays or analytics, it's culture, and that culture wears a headband, scrambles for steals, and celebrates her teammates' buckets louder than her own. That's Sophie, the pulse, the voice, When she's out there, it's not just basketball. It's electric, and believe me, the rest of the league needs to start paying attention to my analysis.
We have a lot to discuss in this one. One thing being that the Indiana Fever has picked up their 5th consecutive straight win. This is their best record in over 10 years, and they have a chance to become second place in WNBA rankings. Yes, so all of the people that said that the Indiana Fever was out of contentions to winning the WNBA championships, I'm here to tell you, they are looking silly today.
Because if Sophie Cunningham is the soul, Boston the anchor, and Clark the spark, then Indiana isn't just building momentum, they're building a whole movement. One clap, one dive, one Cunningham possession at a time. The plan was clearly to cool her down, which is rich considering Sophie was already red hot, melting faces like a microwave burrito. But hey, nothing screams momentum management quite like yanking your flamethrower mid-burn. Yet, here's the crucial twist I knew would happen. Despite that moment of basketball sabotage disguised as strategy, Sophie didn't pout, she didn't flinch. She got back in and kept delivering that unfiltered chaos wrapped in high IQ basketball. Every possession she's involved in is a masterclass in maximal impact with just the right flair.
The odd makers had picked the Indiana Fever to actually lose this game in Seattle. No one thought that they can go to Seattle and get a win on the road. And I'm here to tell you, it got shaky in the fourth quarter.
So I'm happy that we kept our composure, even though Seattle went on an 11-0 run. We've been through situations like that, but I think that we just stayed together and we talked about it and we moved on to the next play.
I also think it shows the growth that we've had as a team, because early in the season we were just so inconsistent, and if teams were to do that, we would normally lose those games. But it just shows that we're getting closer, we're trusting each other, and I think that's the biggest part, is trusting and knowing that we can win those games even if they go on run.
Let's be real. Sophie isn't just playing well, she's playing with purpose, attitude, and a don't mess with me vibe that instantly elevates any team. Her energy has been volcanic since CeCe stepped out. While the league obsessed over Clark's stats and astrology, Sophie casually became the team's heartbeat with zero fuss and 100% fire. And this is where my deep dive comes in. I've become a full-blown Sophie Cunningham disciple. This woman isn't just balling out, she's hilarious, honest, and absolutely unfiltered. Her post-game interviews? Gold. Her on-court demeanor, comedy mixed with competitive fury. She'll drop a 3, talk trash, lift a teammate, then roast the ref in one possession. You can't teach that. Every game lately is a Sophie showcase. Full court hustle, defensive stops, veteran swagger, and facial expressions that deserve their own meme pack. This is the player you want on your side. If you're on the other bench, you're in for a long, sarcastic, soul-snatching night. And this is the insider insight you only get on this channel.
So that is 5 in a row. That is 5 wins in a row for the Indiana Fever. That is something I didn't think we were going to do it. I didn't think we were going to be able to win 5 games in a row. With or without Caitlin Clark, winning 5 games in a row isn't easy. And that's another. Up until last week, the Fever had not beaten a plus 500 team in the regular season since Nalissa Smith and Lexi Hull's rookie season. Since their rookie season.
What most people miss is that there's deep substance behind the sass. When Sophie's on the floor, the Fever become demonstrably more cohesive. There's structure, there's balance. The defense locks in, ball movement cleans up, the tempo smooths out. Her presence seems to cure chaotic syndrome in her teammates. She's the rare player who actually reads the scouting report and brings jokes to practice. And when she speaks her mind, pure gold. In a league often focused on marketable perfection and sanitized sound bites, Sophie is the walking, talking curveball. She's the comic relief and the emotional anchor. She's the unfiltered podcast and the grinded out baller. And she's making it impossible to ignore that the Fever's resurgence is as much about her gritty leadership as it is about flashy stats. While some need the spotlight to perform, she thrives in messy, physical, intense moments. The more chaotic the play, the more locked in she gets. She's that rare player who looks more comfortable diving into the stands than shooting wide open jumpers. Yet, she masters both with flair.
Oh my goodness, what are we doing? What are we doing? You had a Sophie Cunningham who was on fire, 17 points, right? 5 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 5 of 6 from the floor and 4 or 5 from the 3. didn't touch the ball not one more time in that clutch moment. What are we doing? What are we doing? Boston was also on fire. 7 of 11 from the floor, 16 points, 1 block, 3 steals, 2 assists, 12 rebounds with that nasty double, and didn't necessarily put up a shot in those last minutes.
And can we just talk about how hilariously entertaining she is mid-game? Sophie chirps during live play like she's mic'd up for an HBO special, whether she's clapping back at refs, getting under opponent's skin, or hyping up her squad. It's always entertaining, not in a look at me way, but in a this is my house and I'll make you laugh while I wreck you kind of way. What's truly satisfying is seeing her gel with the team. She's no lone wolf, she elevates everyone around her. You see it in their celebrations, the trust, the chemistry. When she hits a big shot, the whole bench collectively levitates. That's not just leadership, that's pure unadulterated belief. And that's the kind of deep dive you can count on my channel for.